Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom nestled between golden hills and crystal rivers, there lived a princess named Elara. She was known across the lands for her beauty, her kindness, and the riches of her father's empire. Her golden hair shone like sunlight, her voice was soft as silk, and her smile could calm the stormiest skies. Princes, dukes, and noblemen from every kingdom came to court her, hoping to win her heart and a place beside her on the throne. But Princess Elara carried a secret, a curse she had borne since birth. Despite all her beauty, all her grace, and all her goodness, Elara had a strong, overwhelming body odor that no perfumes or powders could mask. It wasn't because she was unclean, she bathed in rose water twice a day and wore the finest silk scented with lavender. Yet, the odor returned like a shadow, clinging to her no matter what she did. And it was powerful enough to make those around her step back, their faces twisting in discomfort, even fear. The first time a suitor visited, he was charming and well-spoken. He offered her rare gems from his homeland and spoke of building a future together. But when he leaned closer to speak in private, he paused, his face stiffened, and within minutes he was making excuses to leave. The second suitor brought a fleet of ships filled with gifts and 100 men singing songs of her praise. He lasted less than an hour before suddenly remembering urgent matters at home. This happened again and again. One after another, men came drawn by her title and beauty. And one after another, they left, unable to look her in the eyes. Some were cruel, whispering to their guards about the scented curse. Others were polite but distant. Elara's heart broke each time. She had done nothing wrong. She had been born this way, and no doctor, no wizard, no priest could find a cure. They all said the same thing, it was natural, rare, and unstoppable. In time, the laughter in her halls faded. Her father grew quiet, worried that his daughter would never marry, never know love, and never produce an heir. Elara tried to keep smiling. She gave more to the poor, played with the children in the village, and rode out into the wild woods to escape the eyes of the court. But inside, she felt alone. Not because she needed a prince, but because she wanted to be seen. Truly seen. Not just through eyes clouded by disgust or ambition. Then, one spring evening, as Elara rode through the meadows beyond the castle walls, she heard a strange sound, music, soft and wild. She followed the sound until she found a young man sitting under a tree, playing a wooden flute. He wore no armor, no silk, no royal crest. His clothes were plain, and his feet were bare, but his music was filled with something deep, sorrow and wonder, tangled together like vines. He looked up and smiled. "I know who you are," he said, without bowing. "You're the princess who smells like the storm." Elara froze. No one had ever said it so plainly before. Not even the rudest suitor had dared. She expected him to laugh or run away. But he just went back to playing his flute. "You're not leaving?" she asked, her voice shaking. "Why would I?" he said, glancing up. "I like the storm." His name was Corin. He lived in the forest, raised by his grandmother, a healer who had passed away. He didn't care for gold or titles. He spoke with animals, sang with the wind, and brewed teas from flowers. He was different, not because he was strange, but because he listened more than he spoke. He said her scent reminded him of deep caves after rain, of earth, of something ancient and wild and real. Elara returned to visit him every day. They sat under trees, by rivers, near waterfalls. She told him everything, how the world saw her, how it hurt, how lonely it felt. He never flinched, never pulled away. In time, she saw herself through his eyes, not cursed, not broken, but powerful, honest, untamed. When word spread through the kingdom that the princess was spending time with a barefoot forest man, the nobles sneered. She must be desperate, they said. He must be after her wealth. But Corin never asked for anything. He came to the castle only once, when Elara insisted. The court watched, expecting him to collapse from the smell. Instead, he walked to her throne, took her hand, and kissed it. "You are thunder and rain," he whispered. "And I have waited all my life to walk through your storm." The kingdom didn't understand. But Elara didn't need them to. For the first time, she felt seen, not for her crown, or her curse, but for herself. They were married in a meadow, not a cathedral. Wildflowers grew in every direction. The sky threatened to rain, but held back. The ceremony was simple, and the wind carried the scent of Elara far and wide. And Corin stood beside her, smiling, as if it was the sweetest thing he had ever known. It wasn't the ending the kingdom had expected. But it was real. And it was love.
Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, comment.